over to their little visitor center here. But as far as going out in the groves, they don't have anything like that. Sure.
Hey Kevin, what is it about the island of Kauai that makes the sand so red compared to the other islands?
You know, it's just iron content. I'm not sure why they have more of it, but that's just iron, and it's just rusted and turned into iron oxide or rust, and that's why it's so red like that. Now this little valley right ahead of us flows down to our left here. That's the town of Hanapepe over there. So this is Hanapepe Valley right in front of us. Hanapepe Bay just behind us here a little ways. Now we're going to sneak back in here because there's some real nice waterfalls in here. I know you guys are going to like to check these out, so we'll go back in here and have a peek. Gonna be a little bit of rain, but certainly seen a lot more back in here. So this should work out pretty nice to go back in here just a little ways and have a look at these. You know, the main word I use to describe this island is just variety. There's just such a variety of things. The people, the terrain, the hikes, the weather, and everything is just amazing. So you guys got a chance to see a lot of rain yesterday, I'm sure. I know I didn't fly the whole day yesterday. So today is a much nicer day. But there's still a little bit of rain hanging around.
Mama's in the kitchen cooking dinner real nice. Beef stew on the stove, on the salmon with ice. We eat and drink and we sing all day. Kani kapila in the old Hawaiian way, oh yeah. We do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side.
Now there's some nice waterfalls you're going to like, but you're also going to end up just a tad bit envious after you see this valley. I got to warn you, because this entire valley, all the way back to the center of the island, is privately owned by a single family. The Robinson family owns everything you see outside the windows back in here. Head off to the right and slow down so I come back and show you the big waterfall in front of us here from both sides that way. Now if you recognize the music or that waterfall, they were both used in the beginning of the first Jurassic Park film. They landed right at the base of that waterfall with a helicopter when they came out to the island for the first time. I'm going to bring it around to the right side first. Bring that around to the other side next. Now the Hawaiian name of this waterfall is Manawai-o-Puna Falls, but most people just call it Jurassic Park Falls these days. think? Not a bad little water feature to have in the backyard, huh? I think those Robinsons did okay with this piece of property here. Now these Robinson folks turn out to be the largest landowner on the island, so we're going to be flying over their property for quite a while here. Their story ends up being one of those of being in the right place at the right time with an awful lot of money. It was late 1800s. They had come over from Europe, brought a lot of pure gold with them, and they were buying directly from the Hawaiian Kingdom. Now, you might have noticed a couple of homes over here to the right. They're kind of in the cloud right now. There's only about a mile up the ridge from us. There's like 3 or 4 roofs right over there. If they show up again here in a second, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it turns out those are just guest homes here on the Robinson property. So you guys have to bump into it in town. I'd suggest making friends so you secure a nice place to stay next time. That works out though. You got to call me. That's part of the deal.
Kevin, are the Robinsons involved in any other business on the island aside from just land management?
You know, not really. They this flat land is out to the left, a little hard with all the rain there, but that's pretty flat near the ocean over there, and that's all part of this same piece of property. And they had leased that out for sugar cane growth, and they would lease it to other people to do their growing. But they were into leasing the land for that. But everybody's gone out of business growing sugar, so nobody's leasing that from them right now. And I'm not sure how they're covering their big tax burden here, to tell you the truth. There's a little glimpse of the house. It's kind of behind us now, but you look out the right over there, you see a little bit of white showing through those tall trees. This is the best angle to see it. That's the Robinson home over there. Been there quite some time. Currently, it's the Robinson brothers in charge of all this. Not quite sure how they do it, but they keep passing on this naturalist mentality to each generation, so everyone just wants to keep the land as natural as possible. We actually have a lot of big landowners on the island. The Robinsons are certainly the biggest one, but every one of them has this same mentality where they want to just preserve the land, leave it alone, so this island doesn't end up looking like Oahu when they're done with it. You know, this island's only 10 miles shorter in one dimension. The other dimension is the exact same as Oahu, but they have over 1 million residents on that island. We only have 58,000, and it's because so much of this land is privately owned, and the private landowners don't want to see anything happen to it, so they just leave it alone. And the Robinsons are certainly the leaders of all that.
Do the Robinsons own any land on any of the other islands as well?
Matter of fact, I'm going to show it to you in a second here. You see off the left that little lump of an island over there? There's one just to the left that's going to come into view as I speak here. You can see a little bit of it starting to show over there. So only 17 miles offshore. That one's called Ni'ihau. They own that entire island over there. That was actually the first one they bought. They bought it back in 1864 directly from King Kamehameha V for $10,000. And it's still in their family. They own that entire island over there. It just turns out it didn't get enough rain for the cattle raise, so they came over about this 55,000 acres we're flying over right now, which actually happens to be over 1/3 of the island of Kauai.
Must have been cold there in my shadow. Never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine.
All right, now we've left Robinson property finally, and there's some state-owned land for a change. This is the beautiful Waimea Canyon here. I'm sure you guys have heard this referred to as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. It's a pretty good size, actually 10 miles long all the way to the back, which is way up ahead of us, and it curves around to the left just a little bit. You'll see some of the side canyons that go off to the right up ahead. Some go back as far as 2 miles. Now in the middle, it's well over 3,000 feet deep.
A beautiful face without any. A beautiful smile to ease my pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be.
Now, I'm sure you already know this island was formed volcanically a long time ago. That ended about 5 million years ago. So what we're seeing here is just 5 million years worth of rainwater erosion. Just rain running down what started out as very small cracks that just got bigger and bigger over time.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Kevin, is this island the island with the most rainfall of all the Hawaiian islands?
You know, I'm pretty sure it probably would be. I know in the very center of the island, which is way behind these side canyons, is one of the wettest spots on Earth. So it certainly is certainly the wettest spot in all the Hawaiian Islands, if not the entire planet. And I think by the time you add it up to the whole island, it probably is the highest. But it varies quite a bit from the shore. Like down at the end of this canyon is the town of Waimea at the shoreline. They average only about 20 inches of rain a year. On the other side of the island, the North Shore, is Princeville. They average about 70 inches of rain a year. And as you go toward the center, it just gets more and more. Right in the middle, they average about 450 inches of rain a year, right in the very center. And I don't think any of the islands quite have that same setup we do. There's a geological, I guess, explanation for why it's so wet in the middle. It has to do with the volcano left the crater behind, and the whole side of it opened that faces into our normal trade winds. So you get a lot of warm moisture, goes right back into the crater and gets scooped up to altitude like a big funnel. And of course, it cools off as it goes up and forms clouds right over that one middle spot, and that's what gives it such a wet spot.